Pause it. As soon as I heard that glorious scream, I knew exactly what we were getting. Ratchet and Clank Rip a Fart is coming to the PS5, and when that portal opened up and I heard Ratchet's beautiful voice again, I felt like Cloud getting a hand massage.
Is this how you like it? How about this? Or maybe this?
This series has been a part of my life all the way since elementary school, when I would go over to friends' houses and just spend the whole day watching them play it. This was right around the time when gaming started adapting towards twin-stick gameplay, which just meant everyone was given a gun and games started to become darker and edgier. It's not a phase, Mom! Mario was given a Super Soaker, Kratos was ripping people in half, and even cute little Jack was tortured so much that he learned how to speak.
Say something! Just this once!
Fucking bow down!
During this time period, we get the dynamic duo known as Ratchet and Clank. And I can't think of a better character that shows off this period of edginess and teen angst more than Ratchet.
What do you know about me?
It's not a phase, Mom! See, I absolutely adore this series, and I've beaten the original trilogy more times than I can count, so with the new one right around the corner, I thought this would be the perfect time to make videos on the whole series. Man, I can already tell the exact reaction you guys are having right now upon hearing this news.
Whatever.
I think the reason that I love this game so much is that every individual aspect of it adds to the overall gameplay and nothing drags it down. Every piece of the puzzle that is Ratchet and Clank elevates the game in one way or another. You can traverse the stunning levels that each have their own unique aesthetic, and you have a plethora of insane weapons to use at your disposal. But the most crucial part about it is that it's actually fun to traverse the worlds and use the weapons. With it being the first one in the series, they had an overall vision of who the characters of Ratchet and Clank were, and their portrayal in this game is what I think of when I hear their names. They really remind me of a duo in a buddy cop movie.
I think you idiots are perfect. You're officially transferred.
All right.
That's great. Well, where should we report to?
Each of them excels in certain areas where the other struggles. Ratchet is stubborn, yet skillful as a mechanic, because he has never left his home planet. Clank has robot intelligence, but lacks basic observation skills, because he was deemed as defective for being capable of thinking. Ratchet has the street smarts, and Clank has the book smarts. With these different personalities, they tend to work together well at first, but then it starts to break apart, only for them to become true friends at the end, just like every buddy cop film. This story starts on Ratchet's home planet of Veldin, and the level is basically a straight line to a crashed ship. But it's there for you to get familiar with the controls and with traversing the world. We then meet Clank, and he tells us about the plan this douche has in store. Chairman Drek is the big bad villain of the story, and he plans to take chunks from each world in order to create a perfect planet. He is doing this because his home has been destroyed by toxic waste and overpopulation, and he's just plain evil. It's up to Ratchet and Clank to stop him, so they set off to the next planet, and this is really where they start to show off the creativity of each world. After you land on the planet, the only thing you know you have to do is find a new ship. You're in the middle of the map, and it doesn't tell you where to go, but instead, it allows you to choose between 3 different pathways for you to explore. This is what I love about the game. It doesn't tell you where to go, but you have multiple options that each lead to something interesting along the way. It gives you that rewarding feeling of exploration without the fear of going the wrong way and wasting time. At the end of each path, there is usually a prize, and it can be anything. It could be a new weapon or upgrade, a shiny collectible, or most frequently, an infobot. These bots give you a funny preview of the next planet that you can now start exploring. These funny cutscenes are what give the game its distinct humor style that I absolutely adore. It really fleshes out the personalities of each character since there's no dialogue outside of these scenes. I mean, just look at this one. That shows us one of the first characters we encounter.
Dad blast it!
Look, plumber's crack.
What did you just say?
I said, look, the plumber's back.
All right, wise guy.
This plumber is trying to get off the planet you're on that is currently under attack, but he can't because of
Socioeconomic disparity.
What?
He hasn't got enough bolts.
Luckily, he has an infobot that we have the pleasure of buying, and that's one of the biggest differences from other games. You have to actually buy the rewards after you find them. I'll take it.
He hasn't got enough bolts.
Shut up, Clank. The currency in this game is called bolts, and you have to collect a lot of them in order to get all the different gadgets and weapons. Now, this isn't a Pokemon game, because the currency is actually balanced to make sure you don't obtain everything all at once. When you get to a new planet and you see there's a new weapon, you might not be able to afford it right away. You have to break some crates first, and the sound that they make when you go to collect them. Once you finally have enough bolts to buy the new weapon, you get this cool little animation to reassure you that your purchase was definitely necessary. Wait a minute. Are you kidding me? The weapon I just bought only comes with half the ammo?
So, you gonna buy something or what?
I'm thinking about buying you a new face with my wrench. I'm only buying the ammo this time, just because I need it for the next part. The weapons you can obtain in this game are extremely unique, and they kinda had to be. There isn't a camera lock-on system in this game, so the developers had to be creative with how each weapon works in combat. For the smaller enemies that usually appear in groups, we have the Pyrocitor, which excels in dispatching these foes at a quick speed. For the tougher enemies, we have the Devastator, and for everything in between, we have the Glove of Doom that shoots out these little guys. Look at him. He's so cute. Oh, wait. Go on, little buddy. Come on, come on, come on. Yes! Your sacrifice will not be in vain. The game does a great job of mixing together both smaller enemies and tougher ranged ones that really test your spatial awareness. You have to know who to attack when and how to get out of a sticky situation, because things can devolve faster than you think. Luckily, you have a wrench that can get you out of undesirable situations, and it actually packs a punch. It's not just a crappy starting tool that is only useful for the first few areas, but it actually does some serious damage that is on par with most of the weapons. These enemies aren't scared of you or each other, but they should be. These creatures and robots act like mindless machines, and they will kill anything in their path to get to you. It's your job to figure out which weapon to use where, and that's what really keeps each combat encounter from becoming repetitive. But there is one weapon that is kind of a mystery and isn't in the final version. There was a misprint on the box right here that just reads Entoray. This weapon was called the Gigantoray, and it was actually cut from the game, but it appeared on the cover art by mistake. Insomniac, please just let me hold the Gigantoray. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Oh my god. It's too powerful, no, no. The worlds you get to explore have so much personality to them. When you arrive at each planet, you get this beautiful zoomed out view of the whole level that shows you exactly what you're about to traverse. As you start exploring more planets, you encounter the different, let's say unique characters. Like Captain Quark, a bumbling buffoon that is somehow the star of the galaxy and will do anything for money.
Come to Al's RoboShack in Metropolis for all your robotic repairs. Al's RoboShack, it's Quark-tastic!
You also meet this lovely German lady called Helga. She is supposed to give you the swing shot for beating the obstacle course, but instead makes you pay for it, because life's not fair. But my favorite, and probably the greatest character this series has ever had, was this guy.
It's him, Skid McMarks.
That man from the Infobot.
In the flesh, little dude.
The mess this Skidmark has found himself in perfectly demonstrates the different types of shitty situations that you have to rectify. I will never write a sentence better than that ever again. Each world takes you in a different direction than the last, and they all have varying obstacles. Some have straight traversal sections, most have combat sections, and then a few have puzzle-solving challenges. But my favorite sections have to be the grind boots and the magna boots sections. If you break these down to what they really are, you're just moving forward from point A to B. They make it entertaining by turning the traversal aspects on its head. Literally. With the magna boot sections, it's really simple. You can walk forward and swing your wrench. That's it. It's just a fun way of making the traversal aspects a little more engaging, but you can tell it wasn't fully realized in this entry. What was fully realized though, was the grind boots sections. These sections are even more visually amazing than the magna boots ones. You have to dodge obstacles while also figuring out which rail to jump to next. There's even one part that has you hitting 3 switches in order to unlock an area that gives you the rare collectibles of the game, which are gold bolts. You do this while also dodging oncoming trains and jumping over or destroying the bombs that are being placed on the track in front of you. If you haven't done it before, it can be a little frustrating, but it shouldn't take you over 3 attempts to complete any challenge in this game. If you have trouble getting through a section, you might run out of ammo if you don't use it sparingly, and that's what happened to me. I'm gonna have to break my golden rule about not buying any ammo, but you better not say anything.
Let's go, buddy. I ain't got all day.
There's one other part that these worlds have that changes up the gameplay, and those are the Clank traversal sections. Some planets can't be explored by Ratchet until you get certain gear, and you have to play as Clank in these sections. There's a good mixture of puzzle solving and combat, but they just aren't as exciting as the Ratchet parts, because you don't have access to any of his cool weapons. They are very few and far between, so you don't have to worry about them too often. Once you get the necessary equipment for Ratchet, you are then able to explore these places like normal. Having to go back to the planet and finish up what you started promotes exploration, and really helps with giving you enough places to explore so that you never really feel like you're getting stuck. This game offers so much variety with the different paths and planets that you can go to that it really helps to stay fresh when you inevitably go to replay it for the 10th time. Oh, is that just something I do? Well, never mind about that. Let's talk about the end of the game. Near the end of the game, when encounters start to incorporate more enemies that shoot lots of projectiles at you, the game really starts to chug. It's a PS2 game, so I expected it to have some frame rate problems, but I actually found it really fun to throw as much as I could at it just to see how badly the frame rate would tank. Luckily, I couldn't notice the frame rate tanking on the final boss, which is what I was worried about. Douche Nozzle here is about to destroy Ratchet's home planet, so for the final level, we get sent back to the first world to finally put a stop to Drek's plans. And I forgot how hard the final battle was in this game, because it takes place across 3 separate battlefields. If you fail at all during any of these phases, you have to do the whole fight over again, and that can be extremely frustrating. Every time you die trying, you have to rebuy all the ammo that you spent during your last encounter, and you will drain multiple weapons during this fight. I highly recommend using my favorite weapon, the Tesla Claw, because you can get up close and personal, which really helps with telegraphing his movements. You can just continuously fire this thing without having to worry about aiming, since it targets the closest enemy, which is usually Douche Nozzle. Or, if you want to go into easy mode, you can just decimate him with the Rhino.
What's a rhino anyway?
Rip ya a new one.
What did you just say to me?
R-Y-N-O. Rip ya a new one.
This weapon just locks on, and then it's an easy victory from there. But the hardest part about getting it is its price tag, due to
Socioeconomic disparity.
once you finally defeat Drek, you send him back to his planet he created, and you blow it up with the same laser that he was going to use to destroy your home. The blast from the laser knocks both Ratchet and Clank off the platform, which results in Clank's arm getting destroyed. They both end up falling to what they think is their deaths, but Clank swoops in to save them both at the last second. This ending cutscene makes it look like Ratchet is going to abandon Clank and just leave him stranded on that planet. The music starts to swell, and it really gives you that brief moment of, there's no way they can be separated. Can they? But then,
Hey, Tin Can! Where do you think you're going? We, still need to fix that arm.
and they lived happily ever after. Even though you know there's like 10 other games in this franchise, it still gets you to successfully second guess yourself. The story is just that well written, and the conflict between the two of them throughout this adventure really leaves you wondering if they're actually going to stick together. Ratchet & Clank is my second favorite game series, right behind Zelda, and I can already tell that I have so many great ideas for my upcoming videos on this franchise. I just hope you'll stick around and want to see what I do next. This is my first video in my Ratchet & Clank series I'm working on, so if you don't want to miss any of my other videos, why not subscribe? It doesn't cost you anything. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.